Yo, my name is Ken and I share easy and practical tips to help small creators make their content with a unique cinematic style. Today I'll be sharing how I tell a visual story with my short films on YouTube. First things first, if you really simplify the concept of visual storytelling, it boils down to same subject, different shots. This obviously means that there are different scenes in a visual story, and each scene needs one subject or more than one subject. Typically one subject, and a subject is a person or an object, by the way, if you didn't know. When filming a subject, you want to film different POVs, which means different shot distances with your camera, different angles that you want to try out, and just different positions where you place your camera around your subject. This is required to tell a visual story, by the way, because you use shot distances and angles for one single subject, and when you put it all together, you will see how it goes. For example, if I film myself eating breakfast at a table, that can be filmed with 3 completely different shots and POVs. Next up, we have talking scripts. You want to plan your film by scripting any speaking or dialogue. Typically, I like to do talking head videos like this one and voiceover recordings. Now, specifically for short films, you want to script your videos using the word for word method. So every single word and sentence that you write down should be exact. It shouldn't be summarized in dot points or anything like that. I only say no dot points for short films because you want to avoid rambling and improvising as much as possible. For me, when I ramble in my videos, it always goes off topic, and I want to stick to the main topic of my film. That's why I script using word for word. Those two are completely different methods for scripting. So once you've already written down all of your dialogue or your voiceover script, then you want to remove the sentences that are not important, and I call them fluff. Any points, any words, or any sentences that are just irrelevant and don't add any value to your film or to your story, then you just remove them. Otherwise, you're going to risk losing your viewers' attention. Now, if you do not have any talking or dialogue in your film, then you can just write a screenplay script, which is pretty much a checklist of cinematic shots. And I call this screenplay, which is pretty much a description for each shot that you want to take. Now, with these descriptions, with these checklists, you can be as specific or as generic as you want. For example, I write my screenplay like room, side POV, medium shot, dash working on computer. Another example is front living room, long shot, dash lying down and watching course on laptop. So I include the location, the angle shot, the distance, and the action or movement that I'm doing. If you want to learn how to script 10 times faster with your talking or your screenplay, then you can click the link down below to join my community where I can help you personally. Next is to separate your film into chapters, because obviously you want to structure your visual story like a book. So what I do when I script, I like to separate my sentences or my paragraphs into different sections of my script. Typically, I just write titles and then that's it. I would automatically recognize that it's a new chapter. I only say you should do this because it makes scripting like 10 times easier. It's kind of like organizing your script. You can even show that it's a different chapter in your films. For example, I like to put titles in my films and even say like chapter 1, chapter 2. And every time there's a new chapter, it's always either a different location, a different setting, a different topic that I want to dive into, or a different timeline. Okay, so those are the indications that you need to move on to a new chapter. Another important point is to not underestimate lighting. Lighting is super important to tell a visual story. However, we're all on a budget here, so you want to use as much natural lighting as you can. So you want to light your subject, or if you're filming yourself, you want to light yourself using windows, blinds, open doors, etc. in your house, or just go outside. A good tip is to always shoot near the shadow side of your face whenever you light a subject, because it sort of emphasizes your subject and makes them feel more important. I also like to film with my camera underexposed. So the setting that I'm underexposing right now is minus 0.3, which is not too much, but I like to do around the 0.3, minus 0.7, that type of range. For example, I shot this clip of my face with natural lighting from my window blinds. Finally, there is a rule that I always follow when telling a visual story with my films. It is called the 5-second rule. The 5-second rule applies when you edit your film in post-production. It's where you cut to a different shot every 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be exactly every 5 seconds. Like, I like to do it every 2 seconds or 3 seconds, which means that you're going to need a shit ton of shots, especially for my reels and TikToks, right? For my short form videos, I like to cut every 1 second or 2 seconds, which is very fast paced. So that's why I film a lot of footage, and that's why I have a lot of B-roll. So when editing your short film, I wouldn't go over that 5-second mark. However, for more important shots that you want to really showcase for longer than 5 seconds, that's okay. Just don't do it often. And that is exactly why we need multiple different shots to tell a visual story. So if you need help shooting multiple cinematic shots efficiently, click the link below to join more than 50 ambitious creators inside my community. Inside our network, you can hop on our group Q&A calls where you can get all the tips, advice, feedback, and tools you need. I also have multiple video courses which covers every single topic and practical method that I know when it comes to creating consistent cinematic videos. Click the link in the description below to join us today. I'll see you next time.